Well, let me thank the gentleman from Michigan for those very kind words. More importantly, for your leadership on so many fronts and for caring about those who are falling through the cracks at this point. And also for this very sobering special order tonight, because this is very sobering on the need for an immediate extension of unemployment benefits for the millions of Americans who are struggling to find work. While we received some welcome news on the unemployment rate from last week, with the national unemployment rate falling to 8.6% from 9%, we cannot stop. We cannot abandon the millions of job seekers during the middle of a faltering recovery. In fact, failing to extend these critical benefits would really cripple our recovery and cost the economy over 500,000 jobs. The slow pace of private sector job creation is not because of regulations or uncertainty in the tax code. If you speak to nearly any business person, they will tell you that they are not hiring because they don't have customers. Abruptly ending unemployment benefits during the holiday season, first of all, is mean and it's wrong. It's morally wrong. It would strip 2 million customers out of the economy by March and over 6 million customers out of the economy by the end of the year. But again, more importantly, this is just morally wrong. This is not who we are as Americans. We could not make a worse decision than to cripple our economy by failing to protect millions of families and children from poverty, because that is just what unemployment benefits do. It keeps 1 million children from falling into poverty. So we absolutely must extend this critical benefit to workers who were laid off through no fault of their own before the end of this year. Hidden, though, within the positive 0.4% drop of unemployment is the discouraging news that over 300,000 Americans dropped out of the workforce and that the long-term unemployment picture is not improving, with the average length of unemployment now rising from 39 weeks to 40 weeks. So not only must we immediately extend the emergency unemployment benefits, but we should also immediately pass legislation that Congressman Bobby Scott and myself have introduced, H.R. 589, which would add an additional 14 weeks of Tier 1 unemployment benefits for the millions of Americans who have already completely exhausted their benefits. And I hope that the Republican leadership will bring that bill to the floor for an up or down vote. We can't ignore the needs of people who have hit the 99 weeks, because unfortunately, when we extend unemployment benefits, there will be 2 to 3 million people who still won't be covered because they've hit the 99 weeks. So we can't ignore the needs of the millions of Americans who have run out of time and who are now losing their homes, falling out of the middle class, and relying more and more on our help. In addition, there was a startling rise in the African American unemployment rate from 15.1% to 15.5% in the same period. There can be no clearer reminder of the ongoing racial and ethnic disparities that continue to plague our nation and keep minority communities suffering disproportionately higher rates of unemployment, poverty, near poverty, and tragic health disparities like unconscionably higher rates of HIV infection. The fact that when the national employment picture improved significant for the first time in months, African Americans faced a marked increase in their unemployment. That means we must take immediate and bold action to implement targeted programs and policies to ensure that we truly are a nation that provides equal opportunity and leaves no one behind in terms of accessing the American dream. Now, Congressman Levin, I held a job fair in my district a few months ago. Thousands of people showed up in Oakland for the few jobs, 4 jobs for one person that were available. But let me tell you, people want to work. They want to work. We in the Congressional Black Caucus held 5 job fairs around the country. Thousands of people showed up for limited jobs. I can say with certainty, people want to work. People want to work. And so we have to, however, extend a safety net or this bridge over troubled waters until we figure out how we can deal with the politics of getting the American Jobs Bill Act, the American Jobs Act passed, and also other opportunities and legislation to provide jobs for people because people want to work. So we have to extend this unemployment compensation until we do that. We have to save our economy and the millions of struggling families from poverty and immediately pass and extend unemployment benefits now. And let's not forget, again, the 2 million plus people who hit that 99-week limit who will not be eligible for an extension unless we figure out a way to include them in these initiatives and in this policy. Mr. Speaker, we've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work to do, but I know we intend to stay here until we do our job, until we extend this bridge over troubled waters, the safety net for people just to survive. That's all this is for people just to survive. If we don't do that, you know, those of us who call ourselves people of faith really need to come to grips with our faith and who we are and how we propose to move forward within the context of looking out for and making sure that the least of these are addressed and taken care of until we can provide them those opportunities and dismantle those barriers so that they can reignite the American dream, because it's turned into a nightmare for millions and millions of people. So, Congressman Levin, I want to thank you again for this very this clarion call to our conscience. It should prick our conscience tonight. We should tomorrow say, let's pass this now. The holiday season is upon us. People need some certainty in their lives. They need to know that they have a bipartisan effort to help them through this period, and they need to also know that we're going to work very hard to pass the American Jobs Act so that they can finally get a job, because that's what this is all about, and people want to work. Thank you again.
Well, and thank you for your eloquent statement.